I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I know a few people wanted me to review this, but I've been wanting to review this for a while, and that was Outland. Now I know there's a Blu-ray coming out with it, but there's no special features on it, and this one is just some production notes and a trailer, really nothing much to it, which is a shame. I mean, the film came out way back when in 1981, yeah, 1981, and it didn't do much at the box office, unfortunately. But it's a shame because I will admit, folks, this is my favorite Sean Connery film, without a doubt, my favorite Sean Connery movie. Uh, The Rock, Indiana Jones: Last Crusade, they're very close behind. But as for like pure Sean Connery film, this is probably my favorite. Now I say that because first off, I thought it was really well directed by Peter Hyams. Peter Hyams is one of those directors who I really am a big fan of. I mean, you look at his credits as like from 2010, thought that was a really solid sequel to 2001. Running Scared, that's a fun buddy movie with Billy Crystal. That was in 1986. But yeah, Running Scared, I'm not talking about the one with Paul Walker. This is the one from the 80s with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. That was a fun movie. Narrow Margin, I thought was great. Stay Tuned, I think that's a wonderful comedy with John Ritter. That's the one where he gets stuck in the TV, him and his wife. They get sucked into the TV and they go through these hellish versions of TV channels. Stay Tuned, really great movie. Time Cop and Sudden Death, two very solid Van Damme films. The Relic, which I love The Relic. End of Days, great Arnold Schwarzenegger film. So, Peter Ives has done a lot of great work. I'm definitely a fan of his. I haven't seen the new ones like Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. I haven't seen that. Sound of Thunder, yeah, it's not that good. Um, Although I know it had a lot of problems, like I think it flooded and they weren't able to get stuff done, and like, I think the studio bankrupt. I mean, that film went through a lot of problems, I know, which is too bad. But Outland, as a lot of people would say, is pretty much you take the Western high noon and you put it in outer space. And that is pretty much it. Uh, Takes place on the Jupiter moon of Io. Do you pronounce it Io or Io? For the sake of review, I'm just going to pronounce it Io. If it's wrong, I apologize. But for the sake of it, I'm just going to pronounce it Io. But it's on Jupiter's moon Io, and Sean Connery has been put sort of a tour of duty on this mining outpost. He's going to be the new marshal there. And conditions are kind of hard on there, and the men are having trouble with their work. But he's there with his wife and kid, and one thing leads to another, and there's this rash of suicides going on. For instance, a guy walks out, he's in the spacesuit, they're working, but then he just sort of unplugged shit, and one thing leads to another, his head blows up in his fucking mask. You see it inflated in a gush of gore. So it's definitely R-rated. You see basically his head fucking blow up because of a suicide. Another instance where a guy, he goes in without a spacesuit and he takes the elevator that goes, outside. And so by the time he reaches the bottom, they find his body. His body's basically been, his guts have exploded out of his body pretty much. You can see it. And people are reacting violently, like Sean Connery and this other guy have to take care of this sort of hostage situation where this guy's threatening to kill um, this woman. I think she's like a hooker with a knife. And like Sean Connery's trying to calm him down while his partner has to go through the guts and sneak into the room and stop him. And what they find out while Sean Connery's doing an investigation is that there's the sort of connection is, I'm trying to remember the drug, that's why I paused there. The name of the drug. Fuck, I forgot the name of the drug. But it's a drug in their bloodstream that they take it so that they can work much harder, much faster. They can continue to work, I think like for days at a time or so. They can continue to work again and again and again. Because they want more money. If they do more work, then they get paid more, so they want more money. But the after effects is that they sort of go crazy from it. And Sean Connery finds out that there's this big drug distribution thing going on at this outpost, sort of headed by the lead guy, played by Peter Boyle, who played a really... you don't see Peter Boyle... You didn't see him play a lot of bad guys, but he did a good job with this role. And so Sean Connery has to figure out what's going on and investigates, and then gets to a point where, his partner, you have this really solid chase sequence where he spots a suspect and he chases him like throughout the whole outpost, going through the catwalks and through these narrow corridors with all these people around, leading to a fight in the kitchen. Really well done fight. Now, I have to think Peter Hyams, I think he took this and put in Sudden Death as well, because that's another film, which I like that film, but there's also a fight in a kitchen. So Peter Hyams likes fights in kitchens, I guess. But, I mean, a really interesting place for a fight and really well done stuff. Almost the same scene where you have your hero being almost roasted in the fryer. I remember, Sudden Death, they put a extra degree with the penguin mascot the bad guy's wearing, or bad girl, I should say. But you see trying to fry Van Damme in the fryer, same thing with the bad guy trying to fry Sean Connery in the fryer. But really well done, and they get the guy, and they go and interrogate him, then they come back and find the guy's killed, and his partner's ultimately killed. And the only one who can help him is this doctor, played by Frances Sternhagen. And she did a capable job. Because by this time, his woman has left with his kid. She's like, she left a message. And she wants Sean Connery to go with her. And he's like, no, I can't. I got to do my duty. She's like, no, you don't have to. But, Sean Connery's doing the noble thing. Scare's doing the noble thing. So really the only person you can count on is this doctor, again played by Frances Sternhagen, and I think she's been around for a long time. I think she's in her 80s right now. But she's done a lot of films. She was in Bright Lights Big City. She was in Communion. Oh yeah, she was in Misery. I remember in Misery. The older woman in Misery, that's right. Doc Hollywood, Raising Cain. She was last in the Dolphin Tale. But yeah, she's very sort of a Spitfire type of woman. And he's kind of giving Sean Connery some guff, but then Sean Connery says something like, if I can find the quote, something about like, I want these reports of what happened as soon as possible. If I don't, I'll kick your nasty ass all over this place. See, that's marshal talk. And she sort of respects him, and like you have a fun scene where, I forget what the hell that game is, when you hit the ball and it hits the wall and you go back. And she's asking, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And he's like, because I was brought here because you're supposed to fit into the system, fit into the machine. But I didn't like who I was becoming, and they feel I belong here, and I want to see if they're right. And she's like, your wife is really stupid, for leaving. You want to get drunk? And Sean Connery's like, yes. And so, yeah, really good production value, scored by Jerry Goldsmith, capable, wonderful composer. He's greatly missed. Peter Hyams, very capable director. Sean Connery is my favorite performance of his. And then you get into basically the second half of the film is Peter Boyle. They pretty much say it's like High Noon, where there's going to be these killers coming. Except instead of like High Noon, they go on a train into town. Here, they're going to be on the next shuttle. And then you have this countdown, and this countless countdown of, when these bad guys are coming. And you find there's two killers, and there's one hidden killer, who I'm not going to spoil. And I'm not going to spoil the second half of the film, because I want people to check this out, Outland. I mean, I know it's rare that I do that, but this film is very underrated. I mean, I agree with this review. Awesome, superbly crafted. This science fiction epic delivers all the goods. John Stanley of the Creature Features Movie Guide. I agree with that. Because the second half of the film really works because it's suspenseful and tense with the countdown, and you just know that, he's trying to get help, and no one wants to help him. His fellow officers don't want to help him. None of the crew, none of the civilians there, no one wants to help him, so he has to go at it by himself with a shotgun. Frances Sternhagen, the doctor, female older doctor, she helps a little bit, but ultimately, Sean Connery has to do it on his own, and he gets some ass. And there's a fun moment where he goes at the Peter Boyle, and he's not sure, and then he says, "Oh, fuck it." Boom, and punches Peter Boyle right in the face. It's like, yeah, kick the shit out of him. But the cast works great. I especially love Sean Connery, but Peter Boyle, Frances Sternhagen, they work fine. Wonderfully directed by Peter Hyams. Great score by Jerry Goldsmith. Solid production design, production value. You have production. Philip Harrison straightened production design, and two-time Academy Award winner John Steers special effects. One of it says what he won the Oscar for. Oh, Thunderball and Star Wars. So that's who did the special effects. So that's why the special effects look good. Production design by Philip Harrison. Who is Philip Harrison? I do like this tagline, by the way. I thought it was kind of cute. The tagline when the film came out. Even in space, the ultimate enemy is man. I like that sort of reference to Alien, like in space. Which, sadly enough, that may be the case. But I just want to type this out real quick. Philip Harrison. Shit, if I learn how to spell. See if this is the production designer. Oh, yep. Production designer on a lot of films. He was a production designer on Outland, okay. Stakeout, The Hard Way, Stay Tuned, Time Cop, Sudden Death, The Relic, Spawn, The Core. He was a production designer on those films. Never really saw Regeneration, but probably did that because he's friends with Peter Hyams. But, oh, that's cool. Yeah, very capable production design. And I really like the way the suits look, the space suits, where they have like the suit and they have like all these lights, like are all on here and all on here. I thought that was, I don't know if you can see it right there, but it's like lights all on here and here, which I thought was a cool design and actually made sense, at least to me. That was really well done. And this bit here is from the fun chase scene leading to the fight in the kitchen. Is it an action-packed, wall-to-wall action fest? No. But it's a really good suspense, tension, story. I mean, it's pretty much high noon outer space, but you know what? I really liked it. I mean, if you're a fan of westerns, you can check this out. I know usually I'm not a fan of westerns, but I think because it takes place in the science fiction setting, which I'm more of a fan of, that really works out. Again, with Sean Connery as your lead, really great special effects, production value, a very capable director. You either have interesting mystery with the investigation of the drugs and what's going on. Uh, the tension of, is he going to get anyone to help him? No. Getting his shotgun ready, kicking some ass. I mean, you can't go wrong with Sean Connery kicking some ass. But Outland, very wonderful film, sci-fi, action, western, and space. Or it's western, space, sci-fi, action. Definitely one of my favorite Peter Hyams films. I will say it's my favorite Sean Connery film. I gotta say that. Just wonderful character that Sean Connery plays. He's a badass, but, he has a sense of justice. But it's not like, da 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 da. It's like, he's just a marshal doing his job sort of thing. I just kind of like, the original High Noon. But either way, if you haven't seen Outland, it's really, really worth the look. I didn't spoil a lot, which is rare. But, I really want people to check this out, Outland. It's a very wonderful job by everyone involved. So that's Outland. Either way, a very underrated film. It's sad that this film doesn't have any features. From what I understand, the Blu-ray doesn't have any features. I don't know if it looks better, because sometimes those Blu-rays, they kind of cheapen out on that, but I remember hearing there was no features. Which is sad. I love to hear it like an interview with Peter Hyams and Sean Connery. Because Sean Connery, he must not have been that mad making this film, because he worked with Peter Hyams again on a film called The Presidio. Yeah, I think it was called The Presidio. So, maybe Sean Connery likes the film. Maybe he liked to talk about it. Maybe, Peter Hyams. you know. But I guess because the film didn't make a lot of money, Warner Brothers want to be dickheads. You go, fuck you, Warner. Weenie. Weenie balls. Either way, that's Outland. Definitely check it out. It's a very underrated film. It's sad that it wasn't a hit when it came out. Love to have seen this in the theater. Back in 1981 must have looked great on the big screen. Either way, thanks for your time. Take care. If you're a fan of Sean Connery, you're a fan of sci-fi films, you're a fan of westerns, you're a fan of kick-ass movies, check out Outland. It's really worth your time. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. Later.